Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in my hand right now, I've got the iPhone 13 Pro in graphite, and honestly, this phone has been an absolute tank for the last 4 years. If you're still rocking a 13 Pro or even the 13 Pro Max, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. It's durable, the stainless steel feels premium, and it just works. But we need to talk about the battery. Before I filmed this, my battery health was sitting at a painful 71%. And let me tell you, it was rough. I was charging this thing like 2, sometimes 3 times a day just to get through a normal workload. The standby time was basically non-existent. It was draining so fast, it actually made me anxious leaving the house without a power bank. So before doing this comparison against the new iPhone 17 Pro, I decided to do something about it. I actually replaced the battery on this 13 Pro myself. Now, full disclosure, I used an aftermarket battery, so I've got that little unknown part message in settings, you know the one, but honestly, it doesn't matter. With this new battery back at 100% health, this 13 Pro is feeling brand new again. It's handling iOS 26 surprisingly well, and it easily lasts a full day. So if this phone is so good again, why did I upgrade? And is the jump to the iPhone 17 Pro actually worth it, or is it just hype? That's what we're covering today. You know, I didn't upgrade to the 14 Pro because it felt like a small step. I skipped the 16 Pro last year too, specifically waiting for this one. And I think for a lot of us on the 13 Pro cycle, this is what we call a super cycle upgrade. We aren't just looking at a slightly better camera or a slightly brighter screen. We are looking at 4 years of compounded tech advancements. I've been using this iPhone 17 Pro in silver as my daily driver for about 2 months now. My battery cycle count is at 47, still at 100% health, obviously. And I've got to say the difference is significant. It's not just one thing, it's the combination of everything. But there are some things like the design changes that I think we need to be honest about. Let's dive into the design first. First off, the color. I went with silver, and there is a very specific reason for that. You've probably seen the drama online, the Scratchgate stuff. People with the deep blue and cosmic orange models are reporting scuffs, dents, and discoloration where the anodized layer scratches off, revealing the silver aluminum underneath. It looks pretty bad. By choosing silver, I kind of bypassed that anxiety. It looks clean, minimalist, and if it does pick up a micro scratch, it's gonna be way less visible. But here is the controversial part, the material itself. The iPhone 13 Pro uses that surgical grade stainless steel. It's heavy, it's shiny, and yeah, it's a total fingerprint magnet, but it feels dense, it feels expensive. The 17 Pro has switched to a unibody aluminum design. And honestly, when you first pick it up after using the 13 Pro, it might feel like a downgrade in premium weight, but don't get me wrong, it's not cheap, it's just lighter. It's about 199 grams, and because the edges are more rounded now, it is so much comfier to hold. The sharp edges on the 13 Pro used to dig into my pinky finger, but this new unibody shape just melts into the hand. Also, let's talk about the camera plateau. I know, at first glance, getting rid of the individual rings for this raised plateau looked weird, but after using it, I've actually fallen in love with it. It looks cohesive. When I look back at the 13 Pro now, the old bumps look a bit dated. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree or if you think I'm crazy. Next up, the display. On paper, going from 6.1 inches on the 13 Pro to 6.3 inches on the 17 Pro. Doesn't sound like much. But because the bezels on the 17 Pro are so thin, I mean razor thin, you get more screen without the phone feeling huge. As a guy who loves compact phones, this is the sweet spot. I never went for the Max models because they're just too big for my pockets. But this 6.3 inch size is perfect. The brightness is the other massive jump. Using the 13 Pro outdoors, especially with the sun hitting it, was sometimes a struggle. The 17 Pro hits 3000 nits peak brightness. It's like looking at a printed sheet of paper, it's perfectly legible. And of course, we finally have the always-on display. Coming from the 13 Pro, this was a game changer. Just glancing at my desk to see the time or a notification without tapping the screen, it sounds lazy, I know, but once you have it, you can't go back. Now let's talk performance. I ran Geekbench 6 on both of these. On the iPhone 17 Pro, the A19 Pro chip is pulling a 3822 on single core and a massive 9848 on multi-core. To put that in perspective, that multi-core score is beating some desktop class chips from just a couple of years ago. The Metal GPU score is over 45,000, but numbers are just numbers. How does it feel? The iPhone 13 Pro is still decent, especially with my new battery, but with 6GB of RAM, I definitely notice apps reloading in the background more often than I'd like. The 17 Pro has 12GB of RAM. It's actually doubled the RAM. I can open a game, switch to email, check a video, and go back to the game. And it's exactly where I left it. That 6GB to 12GB gap is huge for longevity. But the biggest upgrade for me, the thermals. You know how the 13 Pro gets hot when you're charging it or using it for GPS? Or how the screen dims when you play games for too long? The iPhone 17 Pro has a vapor chamber cooling system. At first for the iPhone, I've been testing this heavily, gaming, benchmarks, 4K recording, and I have never felt this phone get uncomfortably hot. It gets warm, sure, like when I'm shooting 4K 120 FPS in the sun, but it dissipates the heat so fast thanks to that aluminum unibody and vapor chamber. If you're a heavy user, this thermal management alone is worth the upgrade. We have to touch on software. iOS 26 introduced this new liquid glass design language. It's beautiful. Everything has these depth effects and shimmering animations. It's really satisfying to look at. Surprisingly, the 13 Pro handles it okay, but you can tell it's using a lot of resources. On the 17 Pro, it's buttery smooth. The 120Hz ProMotion feels more locked on than it does on the 13 Pro. Now, Apple Intelligence, this is a feature that iPhone 13 Pro doesn't support. The 17 Pro does. But honestly, I'm going to be real with you guys. It's not a deal breaker yet. Apple Intelligence still feels very beta. I often find myself using alternatives like ChatGPT or Gemini because they're just more powerful right now. So if you're sitting there with a 13 Pro feeling FOMO about Apple Intelligence, don't. You aren't missing much yet. However, the 17 Pro runs those third-party AI apps way faster because of the Neural Engine upgrade. So you still get a better AI experience, just not necessarily the one Apple built. Okay, camera time. This is where the gap becomes a canyon. The 13 Pro has a great 12 megapixel system, but the 17 Pro moves to a triple 48 megapixel setup. The detail is just insane. But I want to focus on the zoom. Last year, the 16 Pro had that 5x zoom. The 17 Pro actually changed the setup to a 4x optical zoom, and I prefer this so much more. 5x was always a bit too zoomed in for portraits or indoor shots. This 4x is the sweet spot, and because the sensor is 48 megapixel, you can do 0.5x, 1x, 2x, 4x, and then a lossless quality crop at 8x. It's incredibly versatile. I took some comparison shots, and the 13 Pro's 3x zoom looks soft compared to the crispness of the 17 Pro. Plus, video creators, we finally have 4K at 120 FPS. It's buttery smooth, a slow motion that looks cinematic straight out of the camera. And a small fun feature. Dual capture. You can record your reaction with the front camera while filming with the back. It's a bit gimmicky, but I actually use it more than I thought I would. So is it worth it? If you are on an iPhone 13 Pro, yes, this is the year. You're getting a lighter, more comfortable phone, a display that's actually visible outside, a camera system that is miles ahead with that 48 megapixel kit resolution and 4x 8x zoom versatility, and finally thermal performance that doesn't cook your hands. My 13 Pro is gonna live on as a backup device, especially with that new battery, but the 17 Pro is just a massive leap forward. If you've been waiting for a sign to upgrade, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments if you're upgrading or sticking with the 13 Pro for one more year. Catch you in the next one.